word. Para que se cargue. No te me trabes. Es raro, ahorita está jalando bien. Está.
Hello everyone and welcome back to English with Lucy. Today I've got a very special guest. It is Anbu from Conquer.
¿Y onda? Sí, se trabó, está cargando esto.
Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be here.
So this is the first part of a two-part video. The second part of the lesson is on Anbu's channel. The link is in the description box. Today we're going to be looking at the differences between British English and Indian English. I grew up in Bedfordshire in England, but I live in Cambridgeshire, and I speak with a modern RP accent, sometimes with a bit of estuary as well.
And yeah, I actually speak with a similar accent to Lucy's, but during the course of this video, I'm sure you'll be able to hear the differences there, because I actually grew up in London, and I also have hints of multicultural London English, shortened down to Emily in my accent too. And just to let you know, I'm of Tamil ethnicity, and we just wanted to also mention, you know, India is such a diverse country, and the population is huge. There's over 1 billion people living in India, and just to put that in perspective, if you kind of compare India to Europe, just the number of nations in Europe and the languages that they speak, you will notice some differences in the Indian English that you use. So we'd love to hear whether you use any words slightly differently, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comment section.
Yes, definitely. This is all about learning and sharing, so please do use that comment section to tell us how you speak and the words that you use.
What I'd love to do is give you a taste of what one form of the Indian accent sounds like when we're discussing these words. So,
yes,
yeah.
Please do. So if you give some of the examples in that accent.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
That would be really cool.
Cool.
Another important thing to note is that Anbu has created a PDF for this lesson with all of the vocabulary differences and some extra quizzes and interesting things. Yeah. So you can click on the link in the description box to download that for both videos. Okay, so the first one is this one. It's a vegetable,
yeah,
isn't it?
I think so.
I would call this okra.
We would call it ladyfingers.
That's so funny, because ladyfingers is actually the name of a spongy biscuit.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's kind of the bottom layer of a tiramisu sometimes.
Do you like the taste of ladyfingers in tiramisu?
I mean, the vegetable, yeah,
yeah.
I love it. Honestly, I think it's quite a boring biscuit. Yeah. I think that's really funny. I mean, you can see why it's called that, can't you?
But I've grown up eating okra, ladyfingers, and it's got a very slimy texture to it. But yeah, it's used in a lot of our dishes.
Yeah, it's not something that we cook with a lot here, but we absolutely love curries. I think we've actually named the chicken tikka masala as our national dish. It was voted as the British national dish.
Really?
So that's how much we love it. Yeah. So
the next word we've got for you is
this one.
Brinjal.
You call it brinjal?
Brinjal.
That's so funny. I wonder where that comes from. We call this aubergine, but this is quite a controversial word. Oh, cool. Yes, that too.
Yes, that too.
No, this is quite a controversial word because in American English they call it eggplant. And that's because eggplant, because the flower bud looks like an egg. Have you ever seen it?
I've never seen it. No. Oh, is that why?
It's
okay.
Cool. We call it aubergine, brinjal.
And brinjal.
I'm going to start calling it brinjal.
I'm going to start calling it eggplant.
Eggplant. I love the accent. All right, the next one is this. It's the ingredient that makes up a lot of curries, and I eat it for breakfast a lot. We call it yogurt.
In Indian English, it's often called curd, which is really interesting because curd actually has a different meaning, I guess, in British English. When we imagine curd, do we imagine different consistency?
Yeah, isn't curd like the creamy part of milk?
Exactly, yeah. In Indian English, you would often hear phrases like, could you add some curd to my dish? Or I'm just going to pop out and buy some curd. Or not pop out, because I guess pop out is a British saying. I'm going to go to the shops and buy some curd.
Interesting. But like a dessert yogurt. So strawberry flavoured yoghurt, you wouldn't say a pot of curd.
No, I don't think you would, no.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
The next one we've got is a really interesting one because I've grown up hearing it all the time, and it's often been a source of argument in the household.
Ooh.
This one is lark or lack.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't have a picture for this one because I need to guess what it is. Lark.
Lark, like a lark, but it's not spelled with an R. It's spelled L-A-K-H.
Okay. Lark.
Lark or
Something
lack.
to do with luck?
Nope.
Something to do with the bird?
No, it kind of sounds like
Yeah.
it, right? So 1 lakh is a unit in the Indian numbering system. It actually represents 100,000. In conversation, you might hear someone say, I bought that house for 10 lakhs.
So that would be £1 million.
Yeah, exactly, because 10 times 100,000 is 1 million.
Right. I just think also it's amazing the way you can switch between those two accents.
Thank you.
That's so cool. So is that maybe because rupees are a smaller value, so you're more likely to have something?
Perhaps.
Because we would £100,000 is a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a viable reason. I think there might be a difference in the numbering systems as well across the different nations, so that will influence how we think about numbers, and then the term that we attribute to a particular sum of money or a particular number.
Amazing, because I just would have no idea if someone told me 10 lakh.
In my household, when we're talking about numbers, my parents always use lakhs. And my siblings and we use 100,000 or 1 million, and we often have miscommunication when we're talking about numbers. It leads to a lot of confusion in the household.
Even within your own household.
Yeah.
All right, this next one. I wonder if you can tell what it is from the picture. In British English, we would refer to this as marriage.
Now, you would often hear this being referred to as an alliance. It sounds really formal, doesn't it? Forming an alliance.
Does.
But yeah, that's often a term that...
Would you also use marriage as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But in terms of an example sentence, someone could say that these two people are seeking an alliance, or they're looking for an alliance.
That's so funny, because I would think that would be a business person looking to join forces with someone else.
It does.
It does. Describe an emotional connection and an official one as well.
Yeah. Let us know if marriage is often referred to in a different way from the part of India that you're from. So the next one is, when it's a rainy day and you just want to catch that bus, you're going to be waiting at a bar.
Ok, en la parte de alliance, que en el inglés de la India así se le dice el matrimonio, no se le dice marriage, marriage como sería en el inglés más común. ¿Por qué? Porque en la India, no sé si saben, pero a una persona le asignan su futura pareja desde que son niños. 2 familias juntan y dicen, ok, pues vamos a aliarnos casando a X hijo tuyo con X hijo mío y voilà, ¿no? Y es por eso que se le dice alianza, no matrimonio como tal. Y uno no va a conocer a su pareja hasta el mero día de la boda. No pueden conocerse en ninguna otra etapa de su vida. Ok, nomás te casan, te juntan y ya, voilà. Así es como se hacen los matrimonios en la India. No sé si alguien sabía, si había escuchado algo de eso. O...
Yo sí sabía.
¿Y cómo se les hace? ¿Se les hace, qué importa? ¿O si les sorprende o qué tal?
En Netflix vi como una serie animada, bueno, una película chiquita animada, y vi que una niña se casó con un señor, pero no lo conocía, nada más estaba con él.
¿Chotabim o cuál era?
No me acuerdo cuál era, pero ya no está, ya no la he visto.
Pues quién sabe. Pues, ¿alguien más?
Ay, le iba a decir algo. Que no sé si entendí mal, pero entendí como que el indio dijo una palabra en español, exacto.
Exactly, dijo.
Es que no entendí exacto.
Exactly. Sí. Antes estaba explicando que eran los lakhs, que es una unidad de medición india que significa 100,000. Entonces, pues, porque como la rupia es muy débil, es una moneda súper débil, pues entonces tienen que sacar billetes de miles y miles y miles, ¿verdad? O sea, de muchos ceros. Por ejemplo, 1 MXN, 2 rupee, Indian rupee, perdón. INR, creo que es ese. Sí, entonces lo buscamos en Google. Sí, no los da. Ah, sí, sí, no los da. Bueno, pues vamos a Google mejor aquí. En Google sí no será más para conversiones. A ver. 1 MXN, 2 INR. Bueno, el peso es más fuerte, no es tanto, nomás que, bueno, o sea, un peso son 3.64 rupias, pero, buah, digo, igual, ¿no? 100,000 libras es un montón. En fin.
Oh, ok, gracias.
De nada. ¿Algo más que he notado del inglés de la India hasta ahorita? ¿O que se les haga difícil? ¿Perdón?
Es un poco más raro.
Sí, sí, está más separado. Digo, ¿por qué? Porque Inglaterra nunca se concentró, a contrario de España o de Francia o de Portugal, de implantar su idioma como tal. Ellos se concentraban en extraer los recursos y párale de contar, esclavizar a la gente y punto, ¿no? No les importaba si los esclavos aprendían el idioma o si daba educación en su idioma, no. Ellos nomás querían sacar todo, esclavos, recursos, etcétera. Eso es lo que ellos querían. Y es por eso que las derivaciones del inglés en cada país que colonizó Inglaterra tiene muchas influencias del idioma nativo, salvo Estados Unidos, Canadá, o sea, los países más blancos. ¿Por qué? Porque ahí se dedicaron a exterminar a la población nativa. Por eso no hay influencia. Pero en aquellos donde no exterminaron poblaciones nativas, como en los países africanos o sus colonias en Asia, pues es por eso que hay mucha, ¿cómo se dice? Mucha influencia de las lenguas nativas en el inglés que se habla allá. Okay.
How would you say it?
A bus stop.
Bus stop. In Indian English, you often hear it as bus stand or a bus halt.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Halt is kind of a more formal word.
Yeah.
Like a more old-fashioned word for stop in British English.
Yeah.
And then a stand, well, you stand there, don't you?
Yeah. So yeah.
Logical.
And I guess they're maybe referring to the actual stand of the pole of the bus signs on the top.
You're right.
The signage.
If I heard bus stand, I'd know exactly what is meant by
Absolutely.
it. But we definitely tend to say bus stop.
Yeah.
Okay, this next one is the word we use to address a man in a position of authority. For example, a teacher or your boss. I mean, in British English, we would just say first name terms for boss or Mr. and then their surname for a teacher. I remember Mr. Purdom was my favourite teacher at school, so I would just call him Mr. Purdom or Mr.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. In London, I've grown up calling my teachers Mr. Smith, for example. In India, you would refer to your male teacher as Sir, and that's quite commonplace, and your boss as Sir as well. So with the accent, it sounds something like this, Sir. So you would hear an Indian person saying, Sir, can you please help me with the homework, please?
Sorry, I was just so in love with what you were saying. I really, really like the accent. It is just so gentle. Like, it's almost like caressing the R sound. We do use the word sir.
We do, don't we?
But I would say for a boss,
Yeah.
that's too formal. That's almost showing too much inequality, I would think. But in some schools, it depends on the school's regulations. Maybe some private schools, places like that, would insist on a more formal code.
Yeah, that's true.
But I never had to call my teachers sir at school. What about female teachers?
Females, so in British English we would say madam in a really formal setting. I'm just wondering whether sir and madam is used in India, because in an email you would say dear sir, madam. In Indian English we would refer to a male teacher as sir, how do you guys refer to your female teachers at school or your female boss?
Yeah, that would be really interesting to know because we say Miss or Mrs. depending on if they're married or not. Yeah, I'd like to know that.
The next one is all about how we refer to members of our family. So Lucy, if I was to say that I met up with my brother yesterday, how would you understand that?
That you met up with your male sibling.
My male sibling who is my immediate sibling, right?
Yes, has the same parents.
In Indian English, brother could also mean my male cousin.
Interesting. So do you use the word cousin still?
No, so this is why when we speak to a person who's speaking with British English, we would have to clarify that and say cousin brother.
Oh.
Even though it means cousin, you would often hear in Indian English someone referring to their cousin as their cousin brother.
Interesting. Well, we would just say cousin. Yeah.
Or cousin sister if it was a female.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the same for us. Cousin. Okay. The next one is this.
Ok, pues es igual que aquí en español, ¿no? Primo hermano, prima hermana. Sí, son, claro, primos cercanos. Ok, eso está más lógico con el inglés de la India. Ya que aquí solamente se queda, pues por la influencia francesa, que es lo mismo, cousin, bueno, en francés es cousin, para ambos, ¿verdad? Para decir primo, prima, que sería igual. Ok.
Yes. In British English, we say boot or car boot.
Yeah. In Indian English, we say dicky. So could you put the luggage in the dicky? Or could you lend me a hand and put the luggage in the dicky, please?
Awesome. And we've also seen a couple of other spellings for it, like diggy as well. I guess it just depends on the pronunciation.
I guess so. As we mentioned earlier, lots of different Indian accents, so I guess that's what influences the spelling there.
Yeah. And again, this is another word that is also different in American English. They call it a trunk.
They do, don't they? I've always imagined an elephant trunk whenever I hear trunk, so...
Same. Don't want to put any luggage up there.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's not the worst joke ever.
So the next one that I wanted to introduce you to is how we use the word current in our day-to-day life.
Okay.
So if I said current, what would you understand that as?
Current as in the moment?
Ooh, that is a good homophone, isn't it?
Yes.
The current, for it is current, in the current moment. In the current moment, Lucy and I are filming. But this version of current is used in day-to-day life for something else. Do you want to take a guess?
Current as in like an ocean current or electricity current?
Yes. So we use the word current to replace electricity. I could advise you, be careful of the current, Lucy, when you are plugging in the plug into the socket.
Be careful of the electricity.
Yes, perfect.
Awesome, I never knew that. The next one is a word used to describe.
Aquí es algo igual que en español. Ellos en vez de decir, si agarra electricidad, agarra corriente, por ejemplo, o sea, igual que nosotros. Ok, eso es nuevo, yo no sabía. Vaya, parece que hay más similitudes en el español con el inglés de la India que con el inglés británico. A ver, vamos a ver qué más encontramos.
An illness.
Yeah.
In British English, we say diabetes.
And in Indian English, you could hear this being referred to as sugar. And this is commonly used in the state of Tamil Nadu.
Interesting. And is this because diabetes or some forms of diabetes are brought on by excess consumption of sugar?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Very interesting. And how do you pronounce it again?
So I would pronounce this as sugar. So do not eat too many sweets because you could develop sugar.
Interesting.
The next one we've got on the screen in Indian English, it could be referred to as the washroom, but it could also be referred to as the toilet too. But what about British English?
Well, we also say toilet. I know that's something that in American English they find a bit disgusting because it's too specific to the actual toilet. But we say the toilet or the loo. Yeah. That's slang. I always say the loo. I think I heard you call it the loo.
I call it the loo as well. Yeah.
Yes. I don't think washroom is that common, but that's not to say it's never used in British English.
That's right, yeah.
The next one is this one. In British English, we call it crisps. I know that's quite a hard sound, the sps sound, crisps. What do you call it in Indian English?
Chips. It's commonly referred to as chips.
Chips. And what about fried potatoes that are served warm?
Ah.
Also chips.
Rice.
Yeah, I guess so.
Everything's a
Yeah,
chip.
yeah. So the next one we've got here is referred to as capsicum. Now, how would you refer to it?
We would call this peppers, or red pepper, green pepper, yellow pepper.
But then surely that gets confusing, the kind of the pepper that you put on your fish and chips.
Yes, but then the pepper we put on, like as a seasoning, is an uncountable noun. So I'd say, can I have some pepper?
Okay.
That would be the spice, or it's not necessarily a spice, the seasoning. If I ask for a pepper, I'm asking for a capsicum.
That is a fantastic tip.
So that's the end of the first part of this video. We have got the next part, which is so interesting, over on Anbu's channel. You can click the link in the description box or just go straight to his channel. Again, please share any other differences that you know of down below in the comments section. And also, if you are from another English-speaking country and you would like to see another episode, please tell us which variation of English you'd like us to feature next. Don't forget to download your free PDF. The link is in the description box, and you can find us on our social media. I've got my Facebook and my Instagram and my mailing list.
I'm also active on my Instagram, Conquer British English.
We will see you soon for another lesson. Mwah!
Ok. Ok. En caso de que quieran bajar el PDF o no sé, pues no sé si lo quieren checar, que un PDF con más vocabulario en inglés, no va a estar obviamente solo el vocabulario de la India, pero parece que sirve. Si quieren se lo subo. ¿Dónde está? Pronunciation, website, iTunes, donde dejo el PDF, free PDF here. Y se lo subo ahí en el Classroom, si les interesa. O cómo se les hizo el inglés de la India. No, miren, él mismo, claro, él vive en Inglaterra, así que ahí tiene se me fue PDFs. Yo más quiero el PDF, señor. No se bajó. No se bajó. No sé si inscribirme. Pero a ver, tiene free lessons con Anpu. Ok, pueden bajar PDFs aquí. Bueno, ahí si se quieren meter, y pues bajar sus PDFs y ejercicios. Claro, solamente no te va a poner inglés de la India, ¿verdad? Porque vive en Inglaterra. Así que les puede poner más inglés estándar. Bueno, sería el de Inglaterra, pero les sirve, ¿verdad? Tampoco es tan diferente del estadounidense. Por si se quieren meter. En fin. ¿Qué tal se les hizo el inglés de la India? ¿Muy difícil, muy complicado? ¿Más sencillo? ¿O les da igual? Está bastante bien. Uf, sí, es súper inglés este amigo. Of course, oh my God. I'm totally from England. Y supongo que el otro que podríamos ver sería el de... Bueno, no ahorita, pero... Focus. Tiene varios de inglés. Podría ser una lista de reproducción. Es que sí, sobre el inglés ahí con Lang Focus. Financial language, Germanic language, weird English spelling, American British English, Australian English, English language. Wow, ya está la lista completa. Sí, aquí están todos. Órale. Bueno, pues les paso la lista ahorita de una vez. Lang Focus. Sí, pues este ya lo vimos. Este no. Este estaría bueno verlo. La influencia de los vikingos en el inglés. How the Greek influenced English. No sé por qué se tradujo a esta traducción a todos. Es básicamente inglés de Lang Focus, ¿no? Bueno, que es explicaciones del inglés sería más bien. Ok, muy bien. Ok. Entonces vamos aquí a continuar. ¿Dónde nos quedamos aquí, verdad? 24.1. Punto 11, perdón. Entonces, look at the table. Bueno, de ensayo, como habías dicho, ya nos viene, ¿no? El primer ejemplo. There is a mosque and a church, but there isn't a factory. Hay una mezquita y una iglesia, pero no hay una fábrica. Suena a Bosnia, ¿no? Muy poco industrializado. Tal vez Polonia. No, Bosnia, sí, suena a Bosnia. Ok, el primero. ¿Qué pondrían aquí? Hay un gato y un conejo, pero no hay una serpiente.
Un conejo. There is a rabbit. ¿Y gatos también o no?
Sí. Y estos son los que hay y estos son los que no hay.
And cat. Ay, ¿cómo se dice? Pero no hay.
But there isn't. Aquí está.
There isn't.
There is a cat and a rabbit, but there isn't a snake.
Así es. But, acuérdense, la U en but suena como O, but. There is a cat, there is a rabbit, and a rabbit, perdón. Cat and a rabbit, comma, but there isn't snake. O puede ser una cobra, ¿no? Si ya quieren ser más específicos. Ok. Si lo pongo así, se verá muy mal. Sí está bien. Ahí está. Aquí hay una doctora, un albañil, pero no hay un chef. ¿Cómo sería?
So, a doctor and a constructor, ¿cómo se dice?
Construction worker.
Construction worker, but there is a chef.
There isn't a chef. Muy bien. Ok. El siguiente. Hay una lab, hay un libro, pero no hay un teléfono.
A laptop. Laptop and book.
Book.
Book. And, no. Sí. Laptop and book. But there isn't a phone.
Sí, a phone. Ajá. Muy bien. Hay un cine, hay un restaurante, pero no hay un teatro. ¿Cómo sería?
There is a cinema.
Ajá.
A restaurant, but there isn't a theater.
Theater. Acuérdense. But, B-U-T se pronuncia but, no but. But es bota, but es pero. Ok, igual se los escribo en el chat. Would, bota. But. Ay, perdón. Ignoren eso. A ver, otra vez. Se los escribí mal. Mal otra vez. Pero, y el otro es boot. Se me decía boot. Bota. Ok. No era el primero. En fin, el siguiente. Ajá. There is a cinema. Ay, perdón.
Maestro.
Sí.
¿Cómo? Espere. Es bot.
Sí, o sea.
Es pero.
Ajá.
Y boot es bota.
Así es.
Ok.
Ignoren el primero, ahí me equivoqué. Nomás los últimos dos. Ok. And a restaurant. But there isn't a theater. A theater. Muy bien. Acuérdense, y theater. Pronuncien theater. Que es theater. Teatro, ¿verdad? Es que nosotros no tenemos la C naturalmente. Así que sería theater. En fin.
Theater.
Bueno, es C. Usa tus dientes como si fueras a decir una S, pero muy suave. Como una serpiente. ¿No?
Theater.
Theater. Theater.
Theater.
Ok. Ok, es decir, bueno, ya todo bien con esto, ninguna duda.
Todo bien.
Ok, todo bien, muy bien. Vamos a continuar. Entonces, describing places. Describiendo lugares. Use adjectives to give more information about nouns. For example, to describe a person, building, or place. Usa adjetivos para dar más información sobre sustantivos, por ejemplo, para describir a una persona, un edificio o un lugar. ¿Verdad? Entonces, key language using adjectives. Clase de lenguaje usando adjetivos. Adjectives are usually placed before the noun they describe. Los adjetivos son usualmente colocados antes del sustantivo que ellos describen. Entonces, she is a busy woman. Ella es una mujer ocupada. He is a busy man. Él es un hombre ocupado. The adjectives are the same for the male and male nouns. Los adjetivos son lo mismo para los hombres, para los sustantivos masculinos y femeninos. It is a busy town. Es un pueblo ocupado. These are busy streets. Estas son calles ocupadas. Adjectives are the same for singular and plural nouns. Los adjetivos son lo mismo para sustantivos singulares y plurales. Entonces, vocabulary adjectives. Ok, ¿quién quiere leerlo?
Yo.
Ok, adelante.
¿Quién dijo primero?
Marlene.
Old, new, beautiful, horrible, busy,
Busy.
quiet. ¿Cómo?
Busy.
Ok. Busy, quiet, small, and big.
Big. Acuérdense, la G es como G. Big, G. Big. Ok. ¿Alguien más que los quiera leer?
Yo.
Ok.
Old, neat,
New.
new,
Ujú.
beautiful, horrible, no, ¿cómo?
Horrible.
Horrible, busy,
Busy.
busy,
Ujú.
cute,
Quiet.
quiet, small,
Small.
small, big.
Big. Ok, muy bien. Entonces, viejo, nuevo, hermoso, horrible, ocupado, silencioso, pequeño, grande. Ok. Entonces, ahí no creo que hayan problemas. Rewrite these sentences, putting the words in the correct order. Add these, reescribe los enunciados colocando las palabras en el orden correcto. This is town, beautiful. This is a beautiful town. Este es un hermoso pueblo. La primera, ¿cómo sería entonces?
He is a horrible man.
Ajá, muy bien. He's a horrible man. Muy bien.
They are, ay, perdón, es que me confundí porque ya pensé que ya lo había escrito.
Ujú. Muy bien. Y la
They,
siguiente, are they small children? ¿Cómo sería?
they are small children.
Small, ajá, they are small children. Ajá. Uncle, my man is a quiet. Ujú. ¿Cómo sería?
My uncle is
Ujú.
a quiet
No.
Man. Ok, muy bien. My uncle is a quiet man. Muy bien. Quiet man. Ujú. Bien. La cuarta.
There is a large cake.
Ujú. ¿Sí? There's a large cake.
Cake.
It's a large cake. Hay un pastel grande. Ok. My shoes are all these. ¿Cómo sería?
These are
These. Ujú.
these
Ujú.
are
Ajá. ¿Sí?
my old shoes.
Shoes. Old shoes. Ujú. Ujú.
Shoes.
Esos son mis zapatos viejos, ¿verdad? Ok. Y there is a new supermarket. Bueno, ya lo dije. Perdón, se me fue. There is a new supermarket. Bueno, ahora sí, ya la última.
You
Ujú.
in work an old museum.
You work in an old museum. Tú trabajas en un museo viejo. Ujú. Ok, bueno, pues está acabando esto, así que lo pausamos y los veo en 5 minutos, ¿sale?
Ok, sale.
Perfecto, muy bien.